The Atlanta Falcons made a statement on Monday Night Football against the Bills with key performances from guys like Drake London and their entire pass rush unit, but none of these were as impactful or explosive as the showcase that Bijan Robinson put on display in prime time. Bijan had 19 carries for 170 yards, which is almost 9 yards a touch, including an electric 81-yard touchdown, which is the longest in the NFL this season. Add on 6 catches for 68 yards, and that brings him to 238 yards from scrimmage on Monday Night Football, bringing his season total to 822, which not only leads the entire NFL so far this season, but puts him on a historic pace for 2,795 scrimmage yards, which would shatter the previous record by Chris Johnson at 2,506. Bijan has been one of the most exciting young stars in the NFL, but last night cemented him as a clear offensive engine in Atlanta, worthy of being in Offensive Player of the Year conversations. And before I get into a lot of the film that showcases how Bijan ran wild on the Bills last night, I want to preface this because I think it's important to remember that his very first touch of the game against Buffalo, he actually coughs it up and puts it on the ground. Now, the Falcons are lucky that there was a penalty against the Bills, which negated this play. But again, just for context's sake, he puts up a phenomenal performance, despite that being the very first play from scrimmage for Bijan in this game. What I loved about this Falcons offense last night was not just the versatility in how they utilized Bijan in the offense, but also in his pre-snap alignments as well. And it allows them to do something I like to say, is using the run to set up the run. You hear the phrase a lot, teams use the run to help set up the play-action passing game. They're actually utilizing a lot of their pre-snap alignments and motion to help set up additional running plays. And this first 2 plays that I'm going to show you here is a great example of that. So, here we have got Bijan actually lined up at the bottom of the screen in a receiver spot. You're going to get a motion here from Kyle Pitts before the snap. And this is essentially just going to be a simple jet sweep where you're going to get Kyle Pitts as a lead blocker. This tight end is coming out to lead block, and then you're going to get a pin and pull with this tackle and guard. And Bijan is going to come across and look to get north and south in that alley there. So I'm going to let this run. It's very well blocked by Atlanta. And Bijan does a great job after receiving first contact of getting 3 or 4 additional yards and almost picking up the first down here on 1st and 10. So I'll pause it right here. Again, really well blocked here by Atlanta. He's able to put his foot in the ground, get north and south here up this crease. And as it plays here, you'll see he's going to get some contact, fights through it, gets an additional 4, maybe almost 5 yards, nearly picks up the first down there. Again, this is early in the first quarter in this game against the Bills. But this next play is going to be the exact follow-up to this, showcasing how they're utilizing that same motion to get even more expansive in their run game. Now, this is the very next play in the game, and like I mentioned, the Falcons are here in the pistol with Tyler Algier as the back. Bijan is actually lined up here in the slot, and you're going to get a similar motion where he kind of scrapes across. And just watch what that does to this defense and how that sets up this play for success. So, Penix is going to send him in motion. As you see both backers here bump, you get this nickel slot kind of corner who bumps out even wider. But most importantly, and I'll rewind it back just a bit, this safety here at the top of the screen now has to insert himself into the box. Again, they're anticipating run. They're giving themselves, a lot of respect to Bijan and making sure that they're adjusting to his alignment in the formation. And what that ends up doing here is sets up a great crease for Tyler Algier on this outside zone play. So again, kind of motions over. Looks like it could potentially be a quick almost swing screen of some sort. And it's just very simple zone scheme. Every single lineman kind of going out up to the left, staying on a track here. And it just is a great crease that opens up for Tyler Algier, who's able to get north and south and very easily, almost untouched, goes in aside from that contact there right out the end, but runs a guy over and gets into the paint for a touchdown. I'll run it from this end zone copy just to kind of showcase it a little bit better, but you'll see again the backer movement that the jet sweep action by Bijan does. Again, bumps him over multiple gaps. 8 is almost exiting the box. 24 has to insert himself as a result of that, so that they have to respect Bijan as a potential swing screen candidate. and it's blocked very well by the Falcons offensive line. Algier does a great job. You can see the crease. I mean, this is a huge hole in NFL standards. And he's able to get downhill. Like I mentioned, untouched all the way through, sees a guy there at about the 5-yard line, runs him over, goes all the way into the touchdown. And those are back-to-back plays. Like I mentioned, the Falcons are using the run to set up the run. So it's a great way to maximize the talent that they have on the roster and maximize the threat that Bijan is in both the run and pass game. When you have an offensive line unit that played as well as Atlanta did last night, paired with a running back that's as dynamic and explosive as Bijan is, that's when you see true magic in the run game. And this play is a great example of that. There's nothing crazy flashy about it. It's an outside zone scheme to the left. You're going to get a little bit of eye candy here with this tight end motioning out before the snap. But it's very simple. Cut off block by the backside. He's got a very tough climb here, and you're going to get 1, 2, and 3, all kind of moving on that left side. Try to give Bijan a cutback lane, and I'll let this run. He does not get touched for maybe the first 7 or 8 yards. The ball's on the 31-yard line here. Look at this alley for him to run to. I mean, again, this is a large hole by NFL standards. He's able to scoot through that very quickly. He doesn't get touched until, what is this? This is the 24-yard line, so almost 7 yards before contact. And now the talent takes over for Bijan. Makes a man miss, doesn't go down to the corner. Another guy drag guys all the way down to the 9-yard line. A 22-yard run. And again, there's not a crazy amount of flash and flare and trickery. It's great when they're able to do that, and I mentioned how they were able to utilize those motions to set up that first touchdown for Algier. This is simple, outside zone, done well, executed well, and with a talent like Bijan Robinson, you're able to get explosives in the run game like that. Here we're late into the third quarter, but it's going to seem very redundant, but it's the bread and butter of the Falcons offense in this game. You're going to get that motion away and outside zone the opposite direction, so I'll let this run from the wide copy. You get tight end motion, and then you're going to get receiver motion. So that topmost receiver, here he comes across, and it's outside zone to the right away from the motion. And just what's special about this one to me and just this entire game, I'm hopeful that it's coming through on the tape, is just how explosive Bijan is once he gets downhill into this gap. So I'll let this run here just a bit. He puts his foot in the ground right here, and just look at how he explodes through the hole and is able to burst into the second level of this Bills defense. Tries to make a cut on the safety. I mean, he's very close from being able to break that for another really, really long run. But again, late in the third quarter, 7-point game, being able to hit an 11-yard outside zone play at midfield, he was able to just chunk away at this Bills defense all night. And this burst is special. That's rare to be able to have. And be as dynamic as a runner as he is for this Falcons team. One of the last few plays I'm going to show here we're early in the fourth quarter. This, I think, is Bijan's third or fourth reception of the game. It's going to be a screen over to the left side. And again, I hope you're able to see it. Lots of motion away. Now they fake what looks like it's going to be that outside zone to the left, which is the same type of scheme that's been beating the Bills all night. Penix rolls away, comes back to it, and now you have the screen setting up 1, 2, 3 guys, 4 guys, a little convoy for Bijan to catch the ball, look to get a field behind. But this is just a talent. There's really not much you can say about this. Bunch of broken tackles, broken tackle. Find 17 yards on a play where he should not have been able to even get a first down. It's even more impressive from this end zone copy again. So I'll show it here. You get the motion across, motion away. Looks like it's going to be that same look for the outside zone to the left. Fake it, come back to the screen. He's got the convoy, makes a cut. One man miss, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tackles broken on that play. Gets them inside the red zone late in a one-score game. When they needed it last night, Bijan was delivering every single time. This last play I'm going to showcase, again, here we are late. This last play I'm going to showcase, we're here late in the fourth quarter. Bijan is lined up here towards the bottom of your screen, kind of in a motioned out, type of running back position. You see Christian McCaffrey line up in this type of alignment a lot there in San Francisco. I'm going to walk through the route concept a little bit. You're going to get kind of a 7-stop route here from this top receiver. This guy's going to run kind of a subtle route right here. You're going to get a swing from this running back here. Last play I'm going to show, here we are late in the fourth quarter, another example of Bijan being Last play I'm going to show, here we are late in the fourth quarter, another example of Bijan being effective in the passing game as well. I'm going to walk through the route concept. Bijan is split out wide here. This looks kind of similar to the alignment that you see Christian McCaffrey do. The 49ers in that Shanahan scheme have really grown in popularity in that over the last couple years, where they kind of motion him out from his running back alignment out closer to where a slot receiver would be, but still at a lot of depth like a running back. You're going to go through the route concept here. So you're going to get, looks like a 7-stop by this top receiver, followed by a settle route here. And then you're going to get a dig here from this receiver, swing route from the running back. And it looks to me like this is an option route by Bijan, where he kind of just recognizes the blown coverage on this side for Buffalo. Just kind of almost turns it into a pseudo rail route. Penix sees it through the pressure, is able to put it on him even though he's taking a hit in the process. And this ends up being a pretty big 20-plus yard gain for Buffalo late in a very one-score game. Gotta have it here at 2nd and 9. It's a big completion from Penix to Bijan. So I'll let this run here and try to showcase the coverage once it goes. So Trey White is here, and he immediately runs with this dig. So almost looks like some type of match coverage, potentially quarters of some sort. Not 100% sure what was supposed to be here. Him and and number 9 there both take the inside route. Bijan kind of recognizes this. You see him turn his eyes back. Penix is already throwing the ball, and he keeps himself available for that rail route. Hits it before Trey White can turn his head around, and is able to get a nice chunk of yardage there. So again, I'll run it one more time, but you'll see he kind of stutters coming out. And it looks like he has the option, just based on his body language, to potentially make a couple of different cuts here. He can settle, potentially do an in cut, that kind of standard option route. Sees the bust in the coverage with Trey White, and just keeps on running, turns it into like a rail route. And it's a really nice hook up here for Penix. It's a great throw as he's taking the hit. He's able to find the connection there with Bijan. Big time 20-plus yard gain there for the Falcons. As I mentioned earlier, Bijan has to be in Offensive Player of the Year conversations after a performance like this. On pace to break the scrimmage yard record in the NFL, and he very well might do so if the Falcons continue to utilize him in this offensive scheme where he is the engine. They go as far as number 7 goes in Atlanta, and Raheem Morris wouldn't have it any other way. If you enjoyed this film breakdown, if you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell. My newsletter is going to be in the description. You're going to get a lot of scouting reports, mock drafts for the 2026 NFL Draft. If you like that, consider subscribing to my Substack as well. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good day, and I'm out.